What's up, everybody? Welcome to Super Retro, a nostalgic podcast about retro gaming, TV and film, pop culture, music, anything dope from the 80s and 90s. I'm your host, Tuck. Oh, and early 2000s. We're at early 2000s. Yeah. Anything dope from the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s. I'm your host, Tuck. That's your host, Will. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
How you doing?
We're back.
Sorry, I went on vacation. Well, I'm going to put air quotes in vacation. That's all I'm going to say about that.
He went out there.
Oh, yeah, I went out of the country. We're back now. So sorry about that gap, but we were trying to fill the holes of us being gone with a few. I got a couple videos posted online. Yeah. But also, I wanted to say I'm really sorry about the month gap between the podcast. That podcast that we just uploaded, the top 20 list, just hit YouTube and the audio, Spotify and Apple Podcast. That podcast was like almost a month old, and I just got around to editing it because of the vacation and a bunch of stuff going on. And then we have another one backlogged that we did about 2 weeks ago that we'll be hitting soon. And then this one, I'm going to try to get this one out pretty quick right after it, just so we can kind of catch back up. All right, wanted to talk about this NBA Jam TikTok that is still going on Instagram. It's still going.
I know. I've never, since I've had Instagram, I've never logged in and seen so many likes.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild what's happening with it. I know this is kind of petty, but bro, as hard as we've been trying our whole podcast career.
It's so
weird.
And
now stuff is really starting to kind of come together for us. Yeah. It's so cool to see. Like how, and I know just a like is petty, but it's really not. For me, you know what I'm saying? Like Questlove liked the video. Kevin Garnett liked the video.
Julian Edelman.
Yep. Patriots legend. Jermaine Dupri.
Like how, bro?
Which is comedy, bro. I love Jermaine Dupri from back in the day. And the CEO of Rockefeller Records, Jay-Z's company or whatever.
Every time I see one of them on there, I'm like, I look and be like, that's really him.
And so many more. So many. What I noticed? So many sports.
Lots, dude.
A lot of people that
fighters, MMA fighters,
a lot of fighters,
boxers,
a lot of NFL players.
Yep. I mean, it's been weird.
That's cool, man.
It's like you do these videos and you don't know where they're gonna go or what audience they're gonna reach, and then all of a sudden, one of your videos like jumps into another. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like. Area code of people that never would have seen your shit.
Yeah. So, man, we're extremely thankful for everybody sharing our stuff and, just taking this trip with us, man. It means a lot, for real. I hate to get sappy on you, but it means a lot.
It's cool, man. It's fun. It makes us even more motivated to do all these cool old school videos.
Absolutely. And we got to do some shout outs. Oh, and if you see me with this, guys, I know this is kind of weird. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there.
We got a teleprompter.
I got a teleprompter now, so I don't have to write it on the big whiteboard. I don't have to look at my phone like I used to do. Like most of our episodes, if you go back and look at it, I'm reading off my phone.
Tuck had just scrolls of notes, bro.
Yeah, and then I would write out the notes, but now I have a teleprompter, and the only thing that you have to look at occasionally is this PS4 controller in my hand, which works because this is a podcast that features a lot of gaming talk.
It could be older, but we'll
but you know what I mean. I mean, it's you gotta do what you gotta do.
Bear with us.
I do have the PS4 in this bitch too. All right, I want to give a shout out to Robert Sperry. All right, my guy emailed us and it was a real dope email.
Yeah.
That was real cool to read how he's getting his stuff, blowing the dust off of it, and him and his son like to play it, but his Nintendo just broke, and he's getting it fixed, but he's got some other stuff. And he went into detail about some games that he likes, and man,
that to me, honestly, like reading that is it's just why we do it, man.
For real.
That is. I told people. I even showed people at work.
Put that up right there.
I even showed people at work.
Yeah.
The email. I was like, dude. Look at that. How cool is this?
It's really cool, man, to light a spark in somebody or just to give them that nostalgic feeling. So, man, hey, Robert, we appreciate you, bro.
Keep gaming.
He said he's been listening since day one. I think he put in the subject, started from the bottom, which is dope. Been listening since day one. That's cool. So, and he's from the Detroit area. Will, you're not banned.
He's cool with me.
You're not banned.
Yeah.
From Detroit.
I got a lot of heat on that NBA Jam video.
Yeah, we talked about it on the last episode. Yeah. They'll get it.
All right, guys. This is a holy grail item that we found at a yard sale. No one's going to believe us. The Nintendo World Championships. Gold cartridge.
Will's been on me for a long time about going to these yard sales, right? We finally go to one together. First thing we find, a 1990 Nintendo World Championship cartridge.
Look at that thing.
Psych!
Totally fake.
That is not real. You know what this is right here?
Mailbag.
It's a mailbag, y'all. We got to send a big shout out to Jeremy at One Up Retro. Sent us this dope gold Nintendo World Championship cartridge from 1990 when they held the Nintendo World Championships. And what's really dope about it is it doesn't just look like it. It's got the little...
It's legit.
It's got these buttons on the front that you change, and it changes the configuration of the game, but it comes preset with the exact way that they played the Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah, so you can recreate the exact Nintendo Championships from 1990.
That's right.
House.
We have
with
to do
your
this.
Buddies. Yeah.
We should do this on live 100%. Or something. But yeah, so
because we suck at most of those games.
Exactly. So One Up Retro recreates these cartridges. And I think that is so sick. I mean,
as soon as I heard about it from our buddy Rad Retro, bro, like Matt, we were like, I was like, I got to get the gold one.
That's right.
Because he got the gray card.
I mean, that's really cool that somebody really did this. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that exists.
Me too. One Up Retro, that's awesome. Also, One Up Retro and Jeremy sent the 395 NES games in one mega collection cart.
Pretty cool cart.
That is cool as hell. I was actually playing this one earlier and had all kinds of dope shit on it. Yeah. I was playing Double Dragon. No, I was playing Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Did you get that? Yeah. See, bro, that's cool. We can play games we haven't collected yet.
Bro, I want that game.
No, I know. It
went to the top of the list for me.
That's cool.
I want that game.
There's games. What's crazy is like we make all these lists and top 10s and 20s. And like there's games we haven't played.
I know.
You know what I mean?
A ton.
Because we didn't get to play all the games of Nintendo.
Yeah, and we were only exposed to what we were exposed to.
Yeah, dude. I mean? No, there's no way.
You'll see other people talking about games that I've never played and they like love that shit. It's like, well, you just had... It was in your market and you bought it at that time. You were a different age. It hit you different.
And when they're people all have these emulators and shit where they can have every game that ever came out. Like we never got into that. So we didn't get we just fucking skipped them.
Shout out to One Up Retro.
You want to get some old cool reproduction stuff? Go hit up One Up Retro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jeremy.
I think it's hilarious how you say Jeremy.
Jeremy?
You say it straight up like somebody from Germantown, bro. It's so funny.
How do I say it?
Jeremy. So I got it every time. I was like, oh my God.
Is it Jeremy?
Jeremy. I love it, dude. Dog, people got to say something about it. It's great.
Jeremy, dog.
That's so great, bro. Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy. Watch, you'll hear it now when you fucking edit it. Shout out to Jeremy. I was like, no, he said it just like he always did his whole life.
Hey, you can take me out.
No, I know. I love it.
You can take me out of Germantown, but
that's who we are, bro. It comes out.
All right, y'all. Who remembers Unsolved Mysteries?
Bro, every single person.
Man, when that music hits, what's it do to your chest? What's it do to your chest when that music hits when you're 7 years old in the living room and you hear it come on?
Sitting alone. Deep. Like that, people, you talk about binging. Like that was the beginning. Like we used to binge those. Like when anytime they'd come on, we was just invested.
Bro, what it reminds me of is it reminds me of coming in the house when the sun was just about to go down, when you were a little hungry, and you walk in, you can smell the grilled cheese. I can smell the chicken noodle soup, and all of a sudden, what's that from the other room?
You hear that
you hear the sound, and for some reason, as creepy as Unsolved Mysteries is and was, it made me feel comfortable.
No, that guy, Robert Stack, man, his was voice. The show.
His voice.
I could hear him explaining something so crazy from the next room and immediately be like, You know what I mean? Like, and he was never seen again.
Guess what, Will?
Like, what?
Robert Stack's my dad.
No way. He really was. Like, he comforted you and was telling you about the most fucked up story you've ever heard in your life.
He told me bedtime stories. He was like...
He really was, bro.
He was like some shit your uncle would tell you when your mom wasn't around.
Yeah. To scare you, but to let you know you're all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
it was so weird.
Man, my man died in 2003 at the age of 84.
Hey, that's a good run, bro.
That was a good run. He had to hit show under his belt.
Scaring all these
Man,
goddamn people.
R.I.P. to Big Rob up there. The show aired from 1987 to 1997.
That's a good run, too.
16 seasons. And this is why it means so much to us. 602 episodes.
But 292 with old Rob.
292 with Stack.
But like to me,
with the homie Stack.
But to me, those 292 are all that's in existence.
That's right. So yeah.
Like, can you remember one Unsolved Mysteries you watched without that dude?
Well, I'm a nerd and I watch them all they're on Netflix now.
Yeah.
A new season. There's 3 new seasons on Netflix, and I love that shit too.
But
it ain't Stack.
He started it.
It ain't stacking them.
He started it.
And 16.6 million viewers at its peak in 89 to 90.
That's crazy.
Those are big numbers
now.
Hell yeah.
Like, you goddamn, dude.
But yeah, nothing more comfortable than Unsolved Mysteries.
Some of the most weird, and like a lot of these people grew up, and look what's big on Netflix and like documentaries and.
Oh yeah.
Like it's this kind of story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
This was one of the first like that.
Yeah, where you would hear some stuff and be like, "What the fuck?"
Because I know.
Someone went to an amusement park and they got kidnapped and was never heard from again.
I'd be willing to bet there was nothing like that on television in the 70s.
There's no way.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it was the first of its kind.
When it came out, it was like pushing the boundaries.
I feel like that.
And they hold a special place in my heart.
All right, y'all. I want to talk about the home run race that went down in the 1990s. During Major League Baseball's 1998 season, Mark McGwire of the St. Louis Cardinals and Sammy Sosa of the Chicago Cubs pursued the league's long-standing and highly coveted single-season home run record, which was 61, set in 1961 by Roger Maris. The season-long chase culminated on September 8th, 1998, when Mark McGwire, facing Sosa and the Cubs, hit his 62nd home run of the season to break the record. McGwire finished the season with 70 home runs, while Sosa finished with 66. The 1998 home run record chase, as well as the previous year's pursuit of the record, was widely credited by sports analysts with restoring interest in Major League Baseball and its fans following the 1994 strike.
Yep.
Mark McGwire's record was later broken in 2001 by Barry Bonds, who hit 73 home runs. So the Major League, what'd they do? They turned a blind eye to what was happening.
They knew, bro.
Everybody knows what happened and why he hit these home runs.
Everyone knew before they broke the record what was happening.
I know.
Like that. They act like this just like the steroids just started.
Yeah, they acted like it was, oh my God, it's infiltrated. No, it's always been that way.
It's been there since the 80s, bro.
We're obviously talking about the steroid era of baseball. I actually wonder when it did start, because I don't really know when it started. I'm assuming it started in the mid-'80s probably.
Yeah.
I would think so, but I don't know for sure.
And they didn't even test for it. So, like, what's to say is what's illegal?
Yeah, no shit.
And like they said, this year was so cool, man, watching that. Like, I remember watching...
Oh, it was the best.
Like, most people were watching. It's not like where you start watching. People would watch baseball who hadn't watched baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, if you were in the room and said this shit was going down, you stopped.
Dude, and the best part about it is this is when, if you had cable,
oh yeah,
Chicago was on television every single day on the Chicago channel, on TNT or TBS or something.
And it was real easy to catch a Cardinals game too.
It was real easy, but the thing is, they always played each other. The Cubs and the Cardinals always played each other, so you got to see them both play all the time. And then it became must-see TV. I mean, they were making the shit prime time.
Yeah, it was so cool.
So this is when
they would
baseball
cut live to an at bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would. Yeah, and I miss baseball on TV like that. I know you can still catch it. It's just not
hard.
the same.
They make it hard, dude.
It was everywhere. It was treated just like the NFL in the 90s.
Braves too. They were on every night.
That's right.
Braves were on every night. Cubs were on every night.
Yep.
Then you'd have like an ESPN game.
That's right. Man, I miss that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got to watch this thing firsthand. I mean, it consumed my whole year in 1998.
They were like, he's going to do it. He's going to break it. And like Roger Maris's record was so like just
right,
like historic.
Yeah,
like
set 19. It was like a 30-something-year-old record.
Never thought that would even get touched.
Nobody would even get close.
No, and they both shattered it.
Yeah, no shit.
And then later, fucking the dude shattered both theirs.
Bro, I'm pretty sure I watched almost every single, or I at least caught the highlight on SportsCenter of every single home run both of them hit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I watched I watched all of Bond 73.
And then once
I was a Giants fan.
I did too. I watched them too.
So,
and then once it got towards the end of that season, I mean, I didn't miss a game, bro.
No, it was.
I was locked in
TV.
watching every game.
It was must see.
But listen to this shit. Mark McGwire admitted in a 2010 ESPN interview that he did in fact use steroids, but quote, did this for health purposes. There's no way I did this for any type of strength use. Bruh.
He was enormous.
Bruh. I'm here to tell you, I went down a wormhole and looked at every single one at the distance at every single one of Mark McGwire's 70 home runs. And this motherfucker hit multiple home runs over 500 feet, including a 545-foot bomb against the Florida Marlins on May 16th, 1998. Bro, my guy was yamming it.
He's so big, bro. If you like he's like a dude who was enormous and took steroids.
He looks like a caricature of someone on steroids.
Bro, I saw a wrestler, I forgot who, it might have been like the fucking Undertaker or somebody. He's huge. Somebody was standing next to him, and they look so small.
Bro, this motherfucker's neck.
He looks like steroids.
He was deformed. He walk out there deformed and just take the bat and be like, bah!
Bro, he hit bombs. And Sosa was big too, man. Like in the way, like Bonds even got bigger. Like all these dudes got bigger. But I'm a baseball player, and I've had many arguments about this.
Yeah,
about like
if y'all didn't know, Will played college baseball,
and like no steroids make you hit a baseball. Like, there's not a steroid made that's going to make you hit a guy throwing 90.
Well, that's what he was saying in the article.
Like, those dudes were good to begin with.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Barry Bonds was good before he ever even knew what steroids was.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
For sure.
And, like, I knew dudes.
There's no doubt.
I played with people who took steroids. They weren't shit. They didn't go pro. They never made it past a certain level of college or little league. Or, you know what I mean? Taking steroids wasn't like a guaranteed pathway to making the Major League Baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be good before then.
Yeah, for sure. He said that he felt like his God-given gift. This is what Mark McGwire said. He said he felt like his God-given gift from God himself was to hit home runs.
I bet it was.
And that's what his purpose was.
Like, it's a great feeling, bro.
Was to hit dingers.
Seriously.
Hitting dingers is Mark McGwire's God-given gift.
Yeah.
And I can't really argue with that. And I did write in the notes, I said all that about the steroids and accusing him of being on steroids, which he admitted, to say I have absolutely nothing.
I give no fucks.
I don't care.
No.
They all were doing it.
There's dudes right now that are in the Hall of Fame that no one caught.
Yep.
That did steroids on the low and just stayed, right here.
If somebody popped in today and was cheating, I think I would care. I'd be like, oh, no one else is doing it. Or, because the regulations and testing and shit.
Like the way they're not putting these dudes in the Hall of Fame. Like Barry Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose, man.
Yeah, Pete Rose is for another thing.
I know it's for
We should probably
gambling.
talk about that one day,
We
too.
will, too.
But, like, I mean, to me, it's just...
Barry Bonds 100% had a Hall of Fame career regardless of steroids.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Come on, man.
And to be, like we talked about... that era was so fun to watch. So, man, who gives a fuck? They gave everything to us.
Yeah.
They let us, they entertained the world.
For sure. And it definitely, like I said earlier, it definitely reignited people's interest in baseball because at the time, that's when it felt like baseball started to go down that curve.
It definitely
dipped. And if it wouldn't have been for that, baseball would have been on the way out as far as in the mainstream.
No, you're right.
A lot earlier than it
They saved
did.
baseball with their steroids.
Yep. All right, y'all. I want to talk about Tomb Raider on the PlayStation 1. Developed by Core Design as the debut entry in the Tomb Raider franchise. I did not know this. Originally released on the Sega Saturn, November 14th, 1996.
Definitely didn't know that.
Followed a week later for the PlayStation 1 on November 22nd of 1996.
That's where I played it.
Yeah, when I think of PlayStation 1, I think of a few games. Tomb Raider is definitely one of them.
100%.
This is a hard-ass game right here.
Yeah.
Dude, you would get lost because it was like a puzzle game, an exploration game. You had to figure out combinations, do these, it was it's basically a big puzzle game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Move this rock here.
It's like a new age Zelda.
For sure. And
before Zelda is now.
And dude, this game was a huge hit. It sold 7 million copies. It kind of led the chart. Like at the time, there weren't a lot of games like this. You had a lot of movement and mobility as far as like you could like shimmy down these rocks.
Oh yeah, she could do a lot.
You could hang on rocks.
Yeah.
You could like jump off the wall and do shit like that.
It definitely pushed the envelope in the gaming technology.
And then the graphics seemed amazing, bro.
They really did.
The graphics seemed awesome. But you go back and look at it now, there's like a weird time period because you go back and look at NES graphics and Super Nintendo graphics and Sega Genesis graphics.
They still look the same.
They're different because they hadn't crossed over into that 3D realm yet.
Yeah, the pixels.
You know what I mean?
Like it's like the 64, the PlayStation.
Yeah.
All of them were trying to do different shit.
Yeah.
And that little first stage was terrible.
First stage of
like it was rough.
First stage of 3D was
but
rough.
It looks so cool to us. I don't care. Not one person was hating on any of it.
Oh yeah, no.
Back then, no.
It was amazing. Yeah. Like how many times did we say the graphics can't get any better?
Yeah, that's why like it shows like the sports skate guys figures, and they're like, "What the fuck?" But back then we were like, "This is awesome."
I love the Stone Cold meme. The wrestlers like graphics can't get any better. He's like a square.
Yeah, it's so funny, but you can tell it's Stone Cold.
Yeah, but it's like his face just plastered.
It's so fun. What a fun time. But man, Lara Croft, it was like a.
Oh yeah.
It was like to me, it was like Indiana Jones as a girl.
It's like if you look, it says the character of Laura was based on several influences, including Tank Girl, Indiana Jones, and Hard Boiled. So
like you could just tell it was one of those games where you're just on this super cool like
excursion.
Adventure,
excursion/adventure.
Yeah.
It really
to try
did
to
feel
find
like
something. Artifacts, like booby traps everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you were in search of treasures and artifacts.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Yeah, and you see all kinds of cool animals. Dude, what I remember is you'd go all the way up. You get all the way up top, and you had to make this super long, complicated jump where you had to jump just at the right time. And if you missed the jump, you fell all the way back down and had to do this long, complicated trek back up there to just keep trying it over and over.
Brutal games.
It was brutal, for sure. And it didn't give a fuck
bro.
how many times you messed up.
They wanted your time.
Just get up, just come on back. It's also one of the best-selling PlayStation games of all time, selling a total of 7 million.
That's all right.
Hey, and I was one of them. And I keep trying to find it at the gaming stores, and I end up finding like 2 and 3 and stuff. I can't find number 1. But yeah, man, Tomb Raider, you gotta love it. Y'all remember playing Tomb Raider?
And the shit that spawned off of it. I mean, this went into movies.
Oh yeah,
like I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
action figures.
Yeah, and the infamous Lara Croft meme where she's like she's got like triangles. Yeah. It's comedy. All right, y'all. Have you ever been playing GoldenEye 007 on the Nintendo 64 and you're about to play the multiplayer mode with your boys, and everyone, as soon as you get on, somebody's got to yell out, "No OddJob, no OddJob," meaning you can't pick OddJob. And there's a reason. All right, everyone says it's cheating. Well, I dug a little bit further into this, and according to the developers, this is in fact cheating. All right, OddJob, if you don't know, he's from the 007 franchise from way back in the day. Since he's so short, his hit zone is smaller.
Yeah, they didn't like add hit zone to him because he's so short.
And when you're playing it, it seems like you're shooting all around his head and you can't hit him, and bullets are flying over his head. And when the developers did it, they had to make his hit zone just a bit smaller because of how small he was, like in the early phases of the game. Well, here's the thing. Mark Edmonds, who is a developer and a engine programmer for 007 confirmed that it is in fact cheating if you use OddJob, and they knew all about it. They never went in there and fixed his hit zone, and they just thought it would make the game more interesting.
Yeah, he has just a harder...
He's harder to hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and when you're playing multiplayer on 007, the whole objective is to get that head strike and, you know, get them out. Well, if his head's harder to hit, like I was watching a video of a guy playing OddJob, and he was literally just lighting him up, and nothing was hitting him. And he just raised it up one time, was like, bang, and it was over.
That's hilarious.
So if you're playing with OddJob on 007, you are in fact cheating.
Yep.
And
you shouldn't lose.
All right, y'all, I want to tell you about a cheat code that people have suspected for years. When you're playing GoldenEye, what's the first thing you say if you're going to play multiplayer? Everyone says it, no OddJob. Nobody wants you to have OddJob because he seems impossible to hit. This little short fucker, you can't hit him. Well, according to Mark Edmonds, a engine designer and developer of the game, he confirmed that OddJob's hit zone is in fact smaller.
Cheating.
It's if you're playing with OddJob, the chances of you getting hit are far less than your opponent's. Thus, that is cheating.
They shouldn't have put him on the game.
But here's the thing. He confirmed in an interview that they knew about it. They knew his hit zone was smaller, but they didn't fix it when the game got closer to being finished because they thought it would make the game more interesting, and it definitely does. And they just wanted people to figure it out on their own. And here's another thing why he's hard to hit. You know, on 007 when you're playing multiplayer, that auto aim kind of locks in on somebody if you're not aiming. Mm-hmm. And the auto aim is over his head.
Yeah, because it auto aims like if it was a normal size.
A normal hit zone. If you don't like physically move the scope onto him, you're not going to hit him. Yeah, you're going to shoot over him every time because you know those shooter games.
You got to like auto aim and go down.
Yep, that's right. You auto aim and press down.
Yep.
So definitely harder to hit. And I just think when developers do this, I think it's great. I mean, it's their games; they can do shit like this.
I mean, if they'd have made it fair, we wouldn't have this to talk about.
That's right. So all these years,
the guys the same exact size.
That's right. We're talking about it right now because of it. So no wonder everybody wants OddJob. You cheating bastards. All right, y'all. I want to talk about GoldenEye 007 on the Nintendo 64.
Man.
Released in 1997 as a first-person shooter game developed by Rare and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo 64. Based on the 1995 James Bond film GoldenEye, the player controls the secret agent James Bond to prevent a criminal syndicate from using a satellite weapon. They navigate a series of levels to complete objectives such as recovering or destroying objects while shooting enemies. In a multiplayer mode, up to 4 players compete in several deathmatch scenarios via split screen.
Split screen, bro.
It faced low expectations from the gaming media during development. However, it received critical acclaim and sold over 8 million copies, making it the 3rd best-selling Nintendo 64 game.
One of the
best. The game was praised for its visuals, gameplay depth, and variety in the iconic multiplayer mode.
That's what it's made for.
It's credited with It's often credited. It's often, how do you say credited?
Credited.
It's often credited for put that extra ED in there, bruh. Putting that extra ED in there.
Credited. You said it. Credited.
I just did.
That's it.
It's often credited. I'm just going to keep saying it until it comes out.
Hold on, bro. Go ahead.
It's often credited.
You can't do it again, bro. I'm going to pee on myself. What the fuck are you saying it like that?
Credited. My God.
Credited.
I can't.
Credited.
I'm just going to say something else.
Try it one more. It's often credited.
It's often credited with pioneering features such as
atmospheric.
All right. It often gets recognized for pioneering features such as atmospheric single-player missions, stealth elements, and multiplayer console deathmatch.
Man.
The game is considered one of the greatest video games ever made,
Definitely is.
with many of its elements leaving an enduring impression in video game culture.
Like, it's nostalgic as hell.
Now, we obviously have to talk about the multiplayer mode. Here's what I read about it today. It was developed 2 months before its release by 2 dudes.
They were just like, throw this in.
They were like, you know what? We have all the tools here. Can you guys figure it out? And 2 months later, they came up with this whole thing.
Can you have it to where they shoot each other?
Yeah.
That's what somebody said.
And bro, they changed gaming with this shit. That's what's so dope about everyone's story. Like, when you think about it, these guys changed the whole world of gaming and left their mark
just by giving another
I don't care
option.
what they've done. I don't care what they've done in gaming.
Yeah.
No greater impact in gaming culture and retro gaming than the multiplayer mode on 007.
Yeah. Letting you go shoot your friends.
Amazing, bro. Me and my boys used to take cardboard boxes and cut them out and tape them to the television in a configuration where we couldn't see where they were at. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Like a deathmatch mode in that was so cool.
Yeah, because
it was such a futuristic type feeling.
We played it so much that we knew where I could look where you were at and be like, I know exactly where he's at. I'll be there in 4 seconds.
100%. That's why it got sort of bad.
Yeah. They didn't think about that.
Nah.
They didn't think, but I mean, how would
like
they?
you said, though, like I didn't know, like I could see that being something they were like, just throw this in.
Yeah, so it had its flaws.
And it became bigger than the game they actually designed to put out.
And here's the thing. The mission mode, amazing.
I know, I bet it is.
It's amazing.
You got to think.
But it's overshadowed.
That's the game.
Yeah.
The game is that mission.
It's so damn
Not
good.
the multiplayer. Mm-hmm. And now, look.
Yep. I would say the multiplayer overshadows the actual game.
And you know what? It's never changed. Every game that's ever came out, that's what it is.
Yep.
The single player, people play and they're like, yeah.
Yep.
They'll play it one time through, beat the game real quick, and then multiplayer the rest of the game's life.
Oh, yeah.
And that started there.
Man, bro, one of my favorite games of all time, easily. And I want to play it. I know it's not as fun as it used to be.
We should have a game night.
I want a game night where we just play that.
Yep,
that's how much I love this game.
Hey, that pause music is on fire.
You cannot talk about 007 without talking about the pause music.
Like,
bro,
how was that put in there?
Who made this? Who made this shit? Let's play it. It's hard, bro.
It's like a real song.
When the vibes come in, it's nasty when the vibes come in. Watch. Motherfucker was going in on this, boy.
Who made that?
A legend is who made it. That's who made it.
Bro.
I wish I go low on you.
Imagine how much people was pausing that.
No shit.
And just walking away.
Feels good, boy.
Like you'd come back and it would be playing that and you'd be like, all right.
I could let that shit loop all day.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty fire. No, it's so funny, bro.
All right, I'm done. Banger right there.
Man.
Banger. And I don't think we appreciated it as much as it needed to be appreciated back in the day. I mean, we know it bopped. But looking back on that, you're like, God damn.
Yeah, no, now I appreciate it way more than I did then.
Way more. And I'm so happy I had that. I don't want to hear about none of that new shit. You didn't get to experience that.
No.
And there's
you don't know
nothing
about this Paul song.
There's nothing in gaming today that's going to hit like that hits when you hear it in your chest. All right, y'all. No Larry Bird slander will be tolerated.
No, you better put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his goddamn name, because I've been on the internet and on social media and I've been seeing these youngsters disrespecting Larry Bird, talking about he wouldn't be shit in today's NBA. Man, that is bullshit. You know what's whack about the NBA today? The defense. Worst defense in history.
No defense.
Final scores be 237 to 199. No defense. Larry B would eat y'all's asses up on the court if any of NBA was guarding him today. My man was straight cooking in the 80s and early 90s. And if you're telling me if Nikola Jokic is cooking motherfuckers today, big tall lumbering just coming
and
through
like
the lane.
Luka Doncic, man, like they're both slow white dudes cooking.
It's basketball IQ.
Yeah, Larry Bird's in that same vein.
Bro, Larry Bird would absolutely cook today's NBA. I'm tired of it. The basketball IQ is through the roof. Ask Magic Johnson. Would Magic Johnson do well in today's NBA?
Yes.
Would Michael Jordan do well in today's NBA?
Yes.
Larry Bird was cooking with both of them.
And
there were 3 chefs in the kitchen, and Larry B was one of them.
Ask all them if he was doing good, if he would kill now.
100%. When you hear NBA players talk about Larry Bird, they're like, he's one of the best players I've ever seen. He's definitely top 10 in the NBA of all time. And like we said, if Nikola Jokic is getting off,
man,
if
it was about skill.
Bro, he didn't need he could, but he didn't need to. He just stepped back, and my man played a game with his left hand because he got bored.
Yeah, he was like, "Watch this."
He's like,
I'm a score left-handed.
And one of the most iconic trash talkers of all time. That's what I'm saying.
He was top 10 shit talkers all time.
Yeah, and just NBA is way too soft nowadays.
Yeah, he would have got technicals.
To even insinuate that Larry B wouldn't cook. I'm not hearing it. No Larry B slandered will be tolerated. And since we're on the subject of dude, I'm really starting to find myself like 80s and 90s NBA. I love the 80s and 90s NBA. It's almost as nostalgic for me as some of the games and movies we talk about, because it was such a part of my life.
Yeah, like you said we talked about baseball earlier because it was available to us.
Yeah, Sports Center too.
Yeah, all that.
Bro, Sports Center. I'm telling you, Sports Center changed shit for me. It's like if I didn't see it, I felt like I missed out on something.
Like I think how lucky we are we got to watch the Bulls all the time.
Yeah, we got to watch it.
Michael Jordan. I got to watch almost every game he ever played
because of the Chicago channel.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, since we're talking about it, I want to talk about Spud Webb.
Man,
y'all remember Spud Webb? 5'7".
If you don't, look him up.
If you don't know who Spud Webb is, let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
Spud Webb was selected by the Detroit Pistons in the 87th pick in the NBA draft, which is in the 4th round. He was ultimately cut by the Pistons and picked up by the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
And this is where he left his mark. He became a right-hand man to Dominique Wilkins. My man, dude, he was fast as hell. He was like the fastest player in the league.
He was lightning.
He was the fastest in the league. And so...
could jump out of the gym.
5'7", y'all. My man was 5'7", okay? And they knew... Some of his teammates knew that he could dunk, but they've only seen him do like a one overhanded dunk. They had no idea because at practice, he had never practiced anything. And what I'm talking about is he went on to participate in the 1986 slam dunk contest against Dominique Wilkins and some other legends. Jordan wasn't in it that year. And not only did he participate, but he won, y'all. 5'7".
Doing crazy shit.
So skinny, too. I mean, the skinniest thing you've ever seen. Looked like a child out there.
Yeah, when he jumps, though, man.
Bro, doing amazing dunks. Not just amazing because he was doing them.
Yeah.
But if any of them were doing them, they'd be amazing.
And it just looks so cooler when you're that small.
And he's actually listed as 5'6" on Wikipedia, but everywhere else you look, he's listed as 5'7", which I've always heard he was 5'7".
He's probably 5'5".
No shit. He had an NBA career from 1985 to 1998.
It's a good run.
Man, but Spud, bro, that's a cool nickname too, Spud.
Spud, whole name, Spud Webb.
But yeah, 5'7" won the dunk contest. I remember that shit like it was yesterday, y'all. I was locked in on that.
It was cool to watch.
So Spud won this contest in 1986. In the following 2 years, Michael Jordan won in 1987 and 1988. Which is a perfect segue into this next thing I want to talk about. Spud Webb had a 46-inch vertical, y'all. My dude was hopping through the roof. But yeah, 46 inches, man. Can you imagine? Which is almost the highest vertical in NBA history. So let's talk about the highest vertical in NBA history. Why don't we? It's a 3-way tie with 3 absolute legends, and I abbreviated it so Will wouldn't know, and it would be a surprise.
I can
to
guess
him.
who all 3 of those are.
You can, and here I want to lead with the legend, Louisville, Kentucky's own and icon. Who is it, Will?
Daryl Griffith.
Daryl Griffith. I saw my man walking down the hallway the other day at the U of L game, which basically makes us related. So, yeah.
Like, I could touch him.
He was right there. He was fresh, too.
He had a good NBA career, too.
He did, man. I didn't realize how good it was. Yeah. And I started looking into it because...
It was solid.
Bro, they retired his jersey in Utah.
Yeah, he was a solid player for a long time.
He really was. He had a long career, too.
And he's one of our hometown Louisville Cardinal legends.
Yeah, he does all kinds of dope shit around here. So my man had a 48-inch vertical. Daryl Griffith, only one of 3 with this 48-inch vertical.
That's cool.
And Wilt Chamberlain is the WC.
I knew it.
Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain had a 48-inch vertical as well. And, of course, this is fitting. I did not see this coming. I did not know this. And it makes all good in the world if you really think about it. Michael Jordan having a 48-inch vertical tied for the highest vertical of all time really sits well when you think about his brand.
He gave him the name Air.
Air Jordan, flying, all that. I didn't realize he had the highest vertical in NBA history. That's wild. I learned something new today, y'all. Yeah, Google it.
Those 3 dudes can hop.
Michael Jordan, 48-inch vertical. His airness, everything associated with him is Jumpman, Air Jordan jumping.
Yeah.
So it's only fitting that my guy has the 48-inch vertical. All right, y'all, I really want to keep this a part of the podcast, follower and listener topics, and we want to just react live off the top of the dome. All right, so this one is from Daddy-O on the Patio, which is a great handle. I fully support that. Awesome. He said best TV/movie cars from the 80s and 90s. Well, I think that's an easy one. The best is obviously the DeLorean. Wouldn't you say? What?
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. It's pretty iconic.
It talked.
It's pretty iconic.
It talked to you, bro.
The Hoff. Plus, they had the Hoff.
Yeah, and that little red.
Yeah, when you would turn it on, that shit would go. Yeah, or
I sat in it.
You did?
Yeah.
Huh.
When I was a young kid, I got a picture of it somewhere.
I'm sure you. What?
And, yeah, I got.
How do we not have this picture?
I have a Polaroid of me sitting inside Knight Rider.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, with a cool little little Peaky Blinders looking hat.
Where you think you can find it?
I'm gonna look for it. I'll look for it.
If we find it, I'm putting it right here. Bing.
That was sick. I'll look for it.
So yeah, man, I would say I get it, and it is the one that popped into my mind. And then there's the Dukes of Hazzard. Man. I mean, Dukes of Hazzard may have been filmed before the 80s and 90s, right? I don't know.
It was definitely in the 80s.
It was huge in the 80s is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was watching it.
I was watching that shit religiously when it came on. I was locked in.
100%. All those cars.
The Ghostbuster vehicle. What do you call that thing?
Ecto-1.
The Ecto-1. Dude, that one's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. All those, actually.
That's what I'm saying. These are just off the top of the dome. Like, I'm sure we're missing so many.
Yeah, but that's definitely them.
All right, so this one is from Matt the Mod. He said, have you guys done an episode on Pogs? Did you play Pogs?
No, but I know exactly what they are.
Bro,
I had some.
I did too. I collected them. I would go up to Red Giraffe. I don't know if anybody remembers Red Giraffe, but it was I don't know if it was a Louisville thing.
Yeah, video store.
It was a video store, and it was a rival to like Blockbuster and all the other ones. You would go up there, and they'd have the little section where they were hanging. And I remember I would always go up there and just get the latest and greatest packs. You had the ones that like the hologram Pogs, but them hologram Pogs. I had some, honestly, I don't think I ever knew how to play. I just collected them because I liked the way they looked.
Thought they were cool.
Yeah. I want to get some, though.
It was like one of those things that just you had to have.
Yeah. I remember trading them all the time with my friends. Yeah. I do remember playing. You'd like smack them or something.
I don't.
But it was more, and I had a little case that would hold them. It looked like a pill bottle, but it was for Pogs.
Yeah, I see them every now and again at flea markets.
I still see them. Yeah, I want to get some. I think they're trying to make a little push to come back. So, yeah, Pogs were awesome. Just to just to have, just another thing to collect. Yeah. So this one's from Mr. Gray 215. He said, let's talk about how as kids we watch really inappropriate movies. And we've talked about that a lot.
This is our podcast.
Yeah. Faces of Death, all of the horror
Nightmare
films.
on Street, fucking Friday the 13th, Halloween.
Hellraiser.
Yeah, fucking
all of these,
Christine.
Yeah, all these wild-ass horror films.
Cujo. Like shit that would scar you for life. You were just watching at 6.
I know. There was nothing better than 80s horror films as a 7-year-old.
Like, think about how, like, we think about our children now.
They would never.
No, I'm saying, like, even as parents, you're like, I can't let him. Like, in your... You have inner monologue going on with yourself saying, I can't let him watch this.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah.
And there was none of that when we were children.
It
like,
was such a different time.
We were sitting in a living room watching fucking people get murdered.
Yep. Like chopped in half.
Yeah. I don't even think we can say this on there.
Yeah.
But like, and like we were so left alone and like to deal with it ourselves. You know what I mean? Like just
to process and then go to bed.
Yeah. You had to process like, this is fake.
Yeah.
Like somehow in your mind, this is all fake. I'm going to go to bed and it's going to be fine.
Yeah. There's no one in the closet.
Yeah. There's no murder.
Or there might be.
Yeah, there's no way this is going to happen to me tomorrow when I'm in the woods.
Damn.
Like as a kid, like they just threw us in there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, man. It was too inappropriate for us. But what a time to be alive that was.
I know. Such.
What a time.
It'll never, and just gaining access to the stuff we gained access to, it was a real art.
Yeah, I think
there was a way to do it. There was a house you knew you could go to. There was a movie you knew you could watch when the person wasn't around, this and that. There was just an overall art to it.
I think it was a beneficial thing that we went through. Mm-hmm. And no kids today get to have that.
That no kids, I'm sure somewhere.
Yeah,
but
there are.
The majority of children in this world
will never
did not go through the same process that we did, just because of sheer availability.
Yeah, and it's just different from parents.
Yeah. Yeah, like our parents, there was nothing wrong with our parents letting us do this. That's just the way it was.
Yeah, and it was just so new.
All right, so Joseph Rubalcava.
Okay.
I think I said that right. All right, y'all. So Joseph. All right, so Joseph Rubalcava.
We're sorry.
Sorry, bro, if I butchered that. But he said, which one was better console and had a bigger impact, PlayStation or N64? I'm assuming he's talking about PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, but I think to me, 64 was the one I liked better. Mm-hmm. But I think like PlayStation 1 had a longer lasting effect on the industry as a whole. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, seems like Nintendo was a past sort of system.
Sure, yeah.
And then PlayStation was like the future.
It seemed like games continued, like the games that went down the PlayStation lane just kept continually getting better and better and better on other systems.
Yeah.
That was like the real progression
and
of
discs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's where Nintendo was like not innovative.
That was its whole thing.
They weren't innovative.
It was all 3D.
Yeah, and like in PlayStation went this way and everything went that way with them.
That's right. Yeah,
You know
I agree
what I mean?
with that.
Like,
yeah.
but to me, I played the shit out of N64 as opposed to PlayStation.
Yeah, well, see, I played a lot of PlayStation. I remember playing the hell out of Spawn.
Yeah,
Tomb
I played
Raider,
them. I'm just saying.
Crash Bandicoot.
If you looked at my history log, it would have been way more N64.
Sure, it's hard for me to say. I feel like I probably had an equal amount of those two because of all the sports games at first that I was playing on PlayStation 1. But then with the 007 and the Mario 64 and... Oh, yeah, but Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 1, that was special, bro. That was special. Damn, so yeah, it's hard to say. I can't really pick one, but if I had to say one that had a bigger impact on gaming, with everything we just said about the PlayStation and gaming going with it, just like thinking about the attributes that 007 lent to gaming and like the Zelda games and the 3D and stuff. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, they're both solid consoles for the time.
Really, for sure. I as much as I hate this, as much as I'm a Nintendo guy. I think PlayStation 1 left a bigger mark on me than the Nintendo 64, but it's close, bro.
Yeah.
I think I would give the nod to PlayStation 1, but I know that, you know, you can make a long list of reasons why Nintendo 64 is better than PlayStation 1.
You can.
You really can, the games and this and that, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
So we didn't answer that.
I'm not sure I answered your question. And I'm not, and, you know, it just is what it is.
That's the way it is.
But, y'all, hey, that's the listener topics for this week. We're going to do it. Try to do it every podcast if I just remember to make a post that day before we do it.
So email us or just we'll make a post and comment on them.
Yeah, superretropod@gmail or any of our socials, and we'll add it to the queue.
We still got a bunch from you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone.
We haven't forgot.
A lot of them, if we didn't answer today from the post that I made, it's not because it wasn't good. It's because we may have already talked about it. All right, y'all, that's the show. Guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. Check out our TikTok. Check out our Instagram. Please go follow us on YouTube. We're really trying to build that. I'm going to start focusing on throwing videos up there more often. But always, you'll be able to catch the full-length video on YouTube, obviously.
We're growing them all slowly.
Yeah.
But surely.
So, superretropod@gmail.com. Yeah, that's it, man.
Fun episode, man. Glad to be back.
That's right. What do you always say, Will, at the end? Keep it retro. Look at him. He looked at me like a deer in headlights. Keep it retro.
Keep it retro.
Peace.